Hello, my friends. Welcome back. So today I'm going to demo for you how to import data from an SQL server sitting on my laptop or on-prem. You could think of that in that way. So let's get right to it. So the first thing I need to do is to get data. So you come to the get data tag, and you'll see that there are all kinds of options of the different data sources that Power BI connectors can give you. You could have Excel, CSV, JSON, PDFs, different databases such as SQL database, MySQL, Postgres, and other types of connectors. You could get data from the web directly, SharePoint, and Microsoft keep adding more and more connectors with each iteration of Power BI desktop that they put out. But in my case, I want to use a SQL Server database, which is a standard in the industry and what I have on my laptop right now. So I click connect. I will control my server name, and I want to connect to AdventureWorks DW Data Warehouse 2012, which is what I have on my SQL server. I'm going to connect with with an import direct, so I'm going to import all the data, but you have the option also to use direct query, and you have also an advanced option where you could use SQL statements, which I will explain to you in a minute. But for now, I'm just gonna press OK. If everything goes well, there you go. So that brings up the list of all the tables that are available within that AdventureWorks DW 2012. And you could, by just clicking over it, you could see all the you get a pop-up of a preview on the right side to show you a little bit of what's in them. Um, um, for this case, I'm going to just check on the DIM customer, and I'm going to load. And here we go. So it's loading all the data right now. It's bringing everything. You can see it was almost 180,000 there. And you can see on the field pane on the side that this is actually the table with all the dimensions within that table has been brought in and populated within the DIM customer table dimension. And if we look at the backend modeling, it's right here as well. So we need to bring in the next table. So I'll do that all over again. Get data. And this time I want to go back to SQL again and connect. And go back to my server. And then AdventureWorks DW 2012. I hope I spelled that right. So now let me talk to you a little bit about import direct queries. So these are the two ways that you could retrieve data from the database. With basically import, it goes and grabs all the data in your database and it brings it in, or the table that you try to grab from the database, and it brings that into your Power BI. And you'll see that because your .pbx file size will increase a lot. Because it just brings in everything in there. But the good thing about it is that you get to store your data in the model, so you don't have to query it every time you want to show visualizations. You could create measures directly on that data. That's opposite to direct query, where you don't actually store any data in the PBX file. Instead, you are continuously querying your database every time your visualizations need to grab that data. So depending on the pros and cons of what you're trying to achieve and the file size and if you are using measures and whatnot, but do keep in mind that it does take time to query your database every time you want to use direct query. And most important thing is that there is a 1 million row limit on the direct query. So keep that in mind. The another cool thing is I really use it all the time, which I really love, is the advanced option. In here, you could actually write an SQL statement, which is like typing running an SQL statement within SQL Server. So you could write an SQL right here and pull in the data that you want. You could use union joins. You could do order bys. And I'll just show you right here. So in this case, I'm just going to do select, select star from fact internet sales, and then we'll just order by unit price. Hoping I've used that right. I always use a 2 minute command timer just in case something goes wrong. So it times out for me. Press OK. Fingers crossed. There we go. So that's a pop-up of the table of what we're trying to pull. This is all the data in it. Looks good. It looks clean. I'll press load, and that will load in the table from the database, and it's called query one. I will rename that really quickly. I'm going to call it fact to fact internet sales. There we done. And now we have data in our model. And if you look at the model, Power BI has automatically recognized where the customer keys are there, and the customer keys on both tables. So it's made a connection in one direction, and everything looks really great. So I will stop right there, and hopefully catch you in the next videos. Thanks.